Welcome to Malculture TV. We are honored and privileged to have no other than superstar dressage rider Cathrine Dufour in the studio, and for an exciting interview. Cathrine, you've won recently medals at the European Championships.
Yeah, it was quite crazy. Yeah.
Quite crazy.
It was, yeah.
Which medal?
I was 1 silver for the team and 2 bronze for the individual.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was quite crazy.
Yeah, it must have been. Then I know you from when you were kind of young.
Yeah, I guess maybe 14 years or something like that.
14 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had the privilege of trying to teach you some mental skills, but
Trying?
I've seen that kind of like you quite good now, and that's why we wanna kind of pick your brain, just try to give some inspiration, try to give an insight to what's going on towards your mindset,
Yeah.
and why you are able to create the success you are able to create. There are so many cliches to being the best in sports,
sure. Yeah. Sure.
and also in dressage. So first of all, I'd like to ask you, what is success in your opinion?
Of course, it was nice yesterday, winning the Grand Prix, but that's not the first thing that comes into my mind. It's really, when I think about success, it can be everything from a successful training back at home, a very nice ride, normal training, just feeding a supple horse. It's really the small goals. Of course, it's nice to have a medal in your hand at the Europeans, but before you go for that, you really have to have those small goals all the way up, and that's like you have maybe 100 goals before you reach that one big goal. So the reason, the biggest success is really the small, what's it called? Yeah. The small,
smaller successes,
exactly.
The victories every day.
Yeah, it is, because if you only want to, have that great feeling in competition, you will really get bored back home when you're training and all that. So you have to really enjoy those small, great successes back in training every day.
Which actually brings me to the next question about passion. They say it's so important to, if you want to have success in life or any areas of life, you have to build on passion.
I really think, that's totally correct. I talked to Isabel one day, and I asked her, how can you do competition? Like maybe, she told me like 40 weeks a year last year, and I was like, how can you do it? Because really, you have to keep up your motivation. You've been at, 20 Europeans. And she's like, yeah, but I'm just so passionate. I just love to work with the horses. No horses are like each other, so really they kind of challenge me every day, she says. So in one way it's quite nice to have different horses, and the fact that they won't last forever, because maybe you would get bored, but if you're passionate, then you try to develop a horse every day. And of course I also have some horses back home, so all the horses, all the small goals, they keep you motivated all the time.
All right, so that's
motivated, passionate,
but because that's motivation and passion is kind of like it's the same family at some points, and it sounds like you're structured by smaller goals in everyday life, and when you come to the big competitions like here in the World Cup in Herning, put them together, maybe there's a chance to win the medal, for instance.
Yeah, if I could choose, or if I should choose between only training or only competition, I would for sure pick training. Because of course it's nice being at a big show, but really it is the daily training with the horses, being with the horses, practicing small things like, wow, okay, you did passage today, you saw that, 2 piaffe steps. It's really, that is what keeps me going every day, and I think it's so interesting, really. I'm brand new in the Grand Prix level, so I'm like fancy, like every day, wow, okay, I could do this, did you saw that? I'm like really surprised every day almost, because I
still learning.
Every day, like all the time. So it's really, for now, of course I can be passionate and motivated, but I hope that I can be like Isabel, like in maybe, how old is she, like?
She's still young.
40, yeah, maybe
you're just
more.
Younger.
Yeah, but really, I hope that I can keep up the same motivation for several years.
I'm sure you can, especially, by telling us that, or revealing to us that it's about the love and the passion for the everyday life. The
but really also, if you talk, the everyday life is for sure the most important, but a competition like this or like yesterday can really give you a boost. Because then you're like, okay, wow, this is also sweet or nice to feel. So it's kind of a combination, but for sure the daily training is very great, but a day like yesterday really, gives you, I want to give it one more notch.
So does that add on to the motivation when you come back home to train, for instance, tomorrow morning, Monday morning?
Yeah, I think it will, because you know...
renewed energy?
Yeah, of course, the atmosphere in here, but also the fact that I'm with the other riders. This morning, by the morning training, I talked to Tina Williamson about her, you know, which horses do you have in the stable, and she was like telling me about some plans with the horses, and that really motivates me, because you know, okay, well, she's doing this with the horse, okay, maybe I could pick that small trick and then use it on one of my horses. So really every bits and pieces, from being with the riders, being in the stable, doing the big competition, everything comes together, and I want to, you know, test that on my horses also.
So it sounds like you were also very inspired by some of the other stars in your sport.
Yeah, for sure. I'm starstruck. I'm starstruck like every day.
Even though you are one of the stars yourself. Yeah.
No, but really, I'm really a mix between starstruck and really, you know, inspired of them, because they have done well during so many years. So I'm just really looking at them and, you know, like picking every bits and pieces all the day. Yeah.
Brings me to the next question, because they say you're supposed to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And do you believe in yourself?
Yeah, of course I do. But
with the stars.
Yeah, but I know I know what you mean when you say it's like a cliche, because you know, just believe in yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, it's not that easy, alright? You just have the worst ride, you know, and you know, oh come on, just believe in it.
Yeah.
But you really have to. I think if you can kind of turn your mind around and be like, okay, you better believe in yourself, because if you just dig in your own hole, then it's just getting worse and worse. So you have to be able to turn your mind around. So even though you know, okay, I'm not believing in myself right now, then you have to get the right tools to really try to draw yourself back and try to really, come on, pull yourself together and believe in it, even though it feels difficult. You know, the day, I think Thursday and Friday, Cassidy trained awful, really, and he never trains awful. I don't know why, but he, you know, he's been off since the European, and then I was like, okay, but we'll have one morning training before the competition yesterday, and he was awful once again. So I thought, okay, what's going on really? And that is a bit difficult to really believe in. Okay, we're gonna do it later. Come on,
it's gonna be fine, even though
exactly. But you just have to really believe in it, no matter what, because it won't help you to say, oh well, he was bad.
So do you do anything specific? I mean, if you find yourself in a hole, step one, stop digging.
Yeah.
But,
exactly.
But then and then pull yourself together. It's like also a cliche. So
but really.
You just trust and believe that it's gonna go fine.
It's much more, you know, practical. Small thing. Watch video from my trainings. Very, you know, down to earth thing. Just I have it on my phone, and then I go back home and then see. Okay, I must have done something wrong during the training, since he was not good, because he's always quite good during the training. So I spent like half an hour yesterday or in the morning just sitting and we're like, okay, what's going on? And I saw the videos from the past days, and I could really see, okay, I was not on the spot right here, I was not in the rhythm and all that. So it helps me, just that one little thing, watching the video, and then of course going through every detail in the stable, same bandages, was it correctly, same blanket with the magnetism and all that. So picking all the details, watching, have I done something different? I used another magnetism blanket for the last week. Maybe that could have done something. So really just trying to look back and say, okay, what have I done different, or
So like Tony Robbins says, if it doesn't work, change your approach and do it again until it works.
No, but really, that's for sure. And just be brave to do it. If it ain't working, then just do something. Try to do something.
Which again, of course, brings me to the next question, because if it doesn't work, and sometimes it don't, and they say that there's no failure, there's only learning. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Some say, but they also say sometimes you win and sometimes you learn.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you handle that?
The first year, one thing about is my first World Cup, like 2 years ago, exactly 2 year ago.
Yeah.
I came in full of confidence and really, you know, my first senior competition, just, look at me, come on, I'm the big princess here. And I went in there and I ended up second last, really, big failure. I felt it like a failure back then, but really I learned so much, you know. He was so afraid of the big screens. I went back home, placed the TV in front of his box in the arena, and you know, it felt like a failure because I really had my hopes high for a great result. But really I learned from it. And several competitions after that I also learned like a lot, really a lot from my failures, but also from my wins, because you know, you learn when it goes wrong, okay, that was not good. But when you kind of succeed, what's it called? When you do well, like yesterday, then you also check, okay, this was good, this will work out, I'll keep that in my box, this is working. So you learn from both.
Exactly. So I think that's very key here to understand that try to learn from both, not only your failures, not only your wins,
exactly,
but analyze both and see how can I grow still.
Exactly.
Oh wow. Dreams. They say you're supposed to dream big in order to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are some of your dreams? And I mean, you've kind of like jumped the world ranking the last year. You've been to the Olympics. You got medals at the European Championships. Do you still have dreams?
Yeah,
you
of
must
course.
have.
I want to be this bad again.
And today?
Yesterday I was like, I could just retire now. I'm finished.
Thank you.
No, yeah, exactly. No, of course I'm dreaming like every day, but I think everyone says, okay, yeah, you better dream, but if you're dreaming something, then just say it out loud, not to the world, but to your team. Mm-hmm. That was really a key for me, because for many years I wanted to go to the Olympics, but I didn't dare to say, because I was only a young rider, and just poor child, just trying to bend the neck and all that. Yeah. But then one day I just told my father that, okay, well, I'm dreaming about going to the Olympics, so how do we do? Mm-hmm. We have a good horse. I don't know if he can make it to the Grand Prix, but at least we could give it a go and try. Yeah. So I kind of pushed myself just to say it to my dad and mom and trainer, and that actually it made a difference, because I said it out loud. It was a huge risk. I felt, because okay, what if I'm not going? Then it's quite embarrassing that I was like, okay, I want to go to the Olympics, but the fact that I told my team, this is what I'm dreaming about. This is what I want. How do we do this?
Exactly.
So then we called in Kyrklund. We had some problems with the Grand Prix exercise. The PR passage was not good, and we couldn't find the key.
Was this with Cassidy or?
Yeah, it was Cassidy. Yeah, because I was kind of in a hole, because I couldn't. What am I supposed to do? It's not working. I'm getting like 4 for the passage because he's swinging so much. And Rune has been more calm all the time. He will learn and all that. But I think it helped me that Kyra came in. Gave me some new tools, and really. But it was only because I said it out loud. Come on, I want to do this, what can we do? So you have to kind of say it out loud to your team, at least, so they can help you towards your dreams. For
sure. I mean, if you want your trainer to help you to get anywhere, you're supposed to.
He can't read your mind, so.
Exactly. Yeah. So what am I trying to help you with?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow.
But it's kind of, you have to be kind of brave. I think, I felt quite brave when I kind of said it out loud, because it was not realistic at all. In December the year before, it was not realistic. I came second last, so it was really close run.
But I mean, what is realistic? It's what most people believe, right? Yeah. Most people don't believe they can get to the Olympics.
Exactly. That's why they don't. That's for sure.
They also say that you're supposed to be a good leader to make your horse follow. What is a good leader for you, in your perspective?
I think, of course, when it comes to the horses, you have to be a good leader, but also when it comes to your whole team, because you have to lead a team, really. It's not only me and Cassidy, it's also mom, dad, trainer, girlfriend, groom, everybody back home. So you really have to be a great leader when it comes to everything, I think. And especially if you have a horse like Cassidy, he's quite afraid of everything and nervous and so on. So you have to be a very calm leader when it comes to this horse. And you have to be, it's a mix of motivated, passionate, great leader, everything. So it kind of works out that one day we have to go for the medal for the Olympics all year.
Yeah, and in my perspective, you know that already, but that's what you're talking about here, the character traits, calm and stuff like that. Yeah. It's part of being a good leader. Yeah,
I guess it is. Yeah. A leader is just a package of everything. It's not only one thing.
Exactly. Sure. So, talking about leadership, talking about being a winner, they also say that winners, they find a way and losers find an excuse. How do you guide yourself in tough times?
It's quite difficult, but again, I go back to my video sessions, just watching myself, really being quite critical. But when it's really during the rough times, I've needed help from either you to train or turn my mind around. Rune, mom, dad, girlfriend, like all the team. When it goes the wrong way, I really need my team. Yeah. When everything is good, I can just enjoy and be a star and all that. But when it goes against you, then you can turn to your team and say, okay, please help me, because something is not going right here. So the question again?
How do you guide yourself in tough times?
It's with my team, really trying to go for the help. Because I think riders that just are being with themselves and just, I'm just dealing with myself, you can't do it. If everything goes wrong and all that, you really need some person to help you. And they want to help you, that's why they're there.
That's why they're there, the team, support you. Great answer, I like that. So also they say, one of the cliches. Just do your best. Maybe your mom, maybe your dad, maybe the trainer. I mean, but what does it mean? How do you make sure that you do your best? I mean, have you specific routines to like now it's game time?
Actually, I spoke to one of the Danish riders yesterday, Daniel, about he was like, okay, but isn't that a bit weird now? Because you have to do your best like almost every time because you have performed so well for like 1 year now, and every time you have to do at least your best or even more. But I think that's just. It's something I really enjoy because, you know, yesterday was a great ride, maybe my best Grand Prix ever, but still I have, you know, okay, maybe the transition into Succes could be a bit more clear, so even though I did my best, I want to do even more. And of course you have to be sharp from back home, from the stable, being, you know, on your best every day, and I think the best key to that is really, you know, mental tools. To stay sharp every time, and I guess Isabel can talk a lot about that also because during like 30 years.
The routine,
yeah, exactly, because it can be boring sometimes. I'm not that competition person. I want to be back home. I'm really like, okay, competition once again. I enjoy when I'm here, but you know, it's really, it takes a long time. It's a whole week you're away from family, from the other horses and all that. So you have to be super, super sharp, and it's your responsibility to be sharp every time. And I think the
that's
fact
also leadership.
Exactly, and the fact that you have a team behind you also kind of pushes you, because they will be there. They are there for you. So if you won't kind of do your best or even more, then they will be like, okay, what happened? So I think the responsibility for them is, or to them as you call it, is really a key word for me. Because I know that they're expecting me to really be in my top game, and I am expecting it at least.
And I guess it begins there. What are you expecting?
I'm pushing myself every time. I want to be better.
Wow. What about this cliche? They say in order for us to succeed in this specific sport, you have to be rich. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I come from a normal family, totally. And I think most riders would have given up Cassidy. And I was just 1 second from doing it. Because he was so difficult going from the young rider to the Grand Prix level. So I think it's much more about, you know, really being patient. Really, you know, wait for it. Train harder, and believe in the fact that, okay, Rune, my trainer, said, well, he can do the Grand Prix, and I was like, but why isn't he doing it? Come on! And he was like, yeah, okay, you've tried twice. Come on, give it a break. Really, come on, take it easy. So I think, of course, you need some kind of economical support. But I had Cassidy for like 7 years, so you don't have to be super duper rich to have the best horses. The difference between, you know, some of the girls that really have got a lot of money in the bank is that they can have maybe 6, 7, 8 horses back in the stable, being ready for the Grand Prix. I have 1. So that's kind of the difference. But when you're on the top with a horse like Cassidy here today, it won't make the difference at all.
Okay.
So, but it's all about how many horses do you have back home to really take over for the next one. That's what can kind of divide us.
I think a lot of you is grateful for that answer, giving them hope to get there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Just one question left.
Hit me.
If I mean, you're still a young girl.
So far.
But if you had a time machine and could go back in time and meet a younger you, any advice you'd give yourself?
I actually changed a lot after the Olympics, because I think
so it's like
like personal and really, you know, also during competition. I think the last 3 years before the Olympics, I was super tense in everything I did. You know, when I was at a competition, it was just the whole feeling about going for a competition. It was only for the Olympics, and I had that one goal in my mind. And of course, that's a good thing. But sometimes you can be too
tense about
too eager, and it becomes kind of a negative energy sometimes. And I can feel really after the Olympics, I'm much more relaxed during the competition. You know, small things. It was not because small things could kind of make me totally crazy before, but they could really, you know, make me irritating and so on. And they can't anymore because, you know, the Olympics. Whoop, it's done. So I think if I could give myself an advice, of course you have to be passionate and motivated and all that, but really also try to relax in it, and really try to still, you know, take it easy, see your family, have time with the friends and all that, because I haven't been good at that for like maybe 3 or 5 years, because I had that goal in my mind all the time. So I didn't want to drink in the weekends because then the day after I couldn't train. And okay, we only have 4.5 years left, so maybe that one training could, you know, it
could be the difference.
Yeah, and of course it wouldn't. And maybe I would have been even better if I had relaxed more, been more with my family and all that. Maybe more balanced, because now I'm a much more balanced person. And it sounds maybe a bit crazy, but I am really more relaxed about everything now than I was the last couple of years up to the Olympics.
Cathrine Dufour, wow, thank you so much for letting us into your head and what's going on there. Exactly. I got inspired, I'm sure our viewers got as well, and we know you have a big competition this afternoon. Fingers crossed, we hope for the best, and good luck. High five.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Of course.